1, 2, 3. All right, now we can get started. So I am so glad to be here with you. And I'm going to take a few minutes and I want to talk to you about something. Everything happens with intention. Nothing happens by accident. People might call it luck, but luck happens to people that are prepared, that are living life with intention. And you're at a critical point to lead and develop a special life. My mother, Laney May, she's from the South, and in the South, everybody has two names. So you don't say Laney, it's Laney May. She grew up in Georgia. She gave her life to the Lord at 14. 4 years later, the same church she was walking down the aisle, married my dad, Linton White. They got married. They had 4 boys. I am the oldest. They had 4 boys, and my dad started off just perfect. But along the way, life's toughness hit him hard, and my mother made the difficult decision to leave my father. And I'm here to tell you, as the oldest of 4 boys, we were not happy with that decision. But guess what? My mother was not trying to make us happy. She had decided her purpose in life was to raise 4 little boys into grown men that would make a difference in this world. That was her purpose. And so she leaves Florida. We moved to Indianapolis. While she had a marriage license, she didn't even have a driver's license. Her first job, she bought her first car for $500, and her first job was cleaning motel rooms. And this is motel with an M, not hotel with an H. Does everybody know the difference? A hotel has spa service, they have in-room dining. A motel is one of those places where you pull your car up to the door. Somebody give me an amen. Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about motels? So you pull your car up, and for whatever reason, when people were in motels, they felt they could do anything they wanted to in that motel room. And my mother had to clean those rooms. And she did it with a great attitude and great focus and great commitment. On the weekends, because she couldn't afford a babysitter when we weren't in school, on weekends, we would go to that motel room and clean rooms. When everybody else was watching cartoons, I'm a Scooby-Doo guy. Anybody know Scooby-Doo? I'm a Scooby-Doo guy. All right, we got an old person back there that's a Scooby-Doo fan. Perfect. While other kids were there, we were learning some very important lessons. And for all of you seniors, your parents have made the same sacrifice for you, I promise you. So there's no silver spoon kid here. I grew up the right way, hard, tough. I learned some valuable lessons around hard work, team, purpose, commitment, excellence. Don't allow your environment or your circumstances to shape how you approach this world. So she raised 4 little boys, and along the way, with those valuable lessons, there were men and women that gave me a hand up, not a handout. Sometimes we need a handout, but they gave me a hand up, just like tonight. And just like through high school, you received a hand up from the ACE Scholarship. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Don't they do a great job? So with a lot of helping hands, it was not until my junior year in high school before college even became a reality. My goal was just to be a postman. In my neighborhood, being a postman, you had the nice uniforms, you could wear shorts, show off your legs. It was a great job. And they were considered the rich people to me. That was how wide my world was. And the reason I'm here with you tonight, there were people like Alice Goodrum, my speech teacher, Coach Ernie Hudson, our basketball coach, Ed McDowell, who was the principal of the school, who all took a personal interest in me because they saw something in me I didn't even see in myself. And just like Ace sees things in you that maybe you don't even see in yourself. So be proud, be excited. And as the first generation kid to go to college in my entire family, and my brothers followed along. Amen. All right, well, there you go. My wife's here, perfect. All right, great. Just kidding, that's not my wife. Don't tell my wife that. But I was the first generation. and I graduate from school. I had a minor in business, a major in journalism. I wanted to be the next sportscaster. I realized how much they paid. I said, no, I want to go into business. And along the way, I climbed the corporate ladder. And how's a kid who grew up in the housing projects of Indianapolis, Indiana, first generation college student, end up being one of the presidents of Comcast, one of the top 5 executives, leading 30,000 employees and almost $20 billion in revenue? How does that happen? I'm here to tell you it can happen for you too. But it's up to you. And so when I tell you that life is about leading with intention, write down your goals. Be clear on what your vision is. So I've got a challenge for you. I've got a little test for you. You don't have to write it down, but I want you to mentally take this test. One of my favorite quotes is a Mark Twain quote. The 2 most important days in your life is the day you're born, and the second is when you find out why. Let me say that again, because that was pretty good. Let me say that one more time. The 2 most important days in your life is the day you're born, and the second is when you find out why you've been placed on this earth. No one can convince me that someone was placed on this earth to create havoc. That is a learned behavior. Amen. We have been placed on this earth to make a difference, and that's why I'm here with you today. If I can say one thing that might inspire you to reach your full potential, then I'm here. So here's the challenge. With that in mind, I want you to think forward 20 years. I want you to think forward 20 years. What are you going to be doing? And what are people saying about you? What kind of legacy are you creating? Are you creating a legacy where you're bringing others along? Are you creating a legacy that's all about you? I don't believe that's anyone's purpose. And to show you how true this is, in our lifetime, we will meet almost 80,000 people in our lifetime. I met 6 just here at this event tonight. And when your life is done, so as you think down 20 years, and then 30 years and 40 years, I want you to envision 80,000 men and women in Bronco Stadium. Because we don't play football there, but you get my point. No, I'm just kidding. I know there are a few Bronco fans. It's going to be different now. We got a new quarterback. But I want you to think about 80,000 people that you have interacted with over your lifetime, and what are they saying? Are they cheering? What's your name? Jaylene. Huh? Jaylene. Are they cheering, Jaylene, Jaylene, Jaylene? Yeah. Or are they saying, boo, Jaylene, we don't like you? No, you're lovely, but we're all joking here. Or worse, that's not even the bad part. The worst part is they're saying nothing. Because you've gone through life and not impacted anyone. There are no fingerprints. There are no footprints. So as you accept that challenge and mentally think about, really give that some thought, and through that process, you will develop your purpose. Norton's purpose is giving back and helping. That's why he's been part of ACE for 20 plus years. My purpose, yeah, give Norton a nice applause. My purpose, because there have been so many people that gave me a hand up, is how do I help create a table of prosperity for as many people as possible? What must I do with my life to make a difference? So this table of prosperity is not just there for 4 people or 8 people. Maybe it could be 80,000. It's unlimited. It all goes back to your appetite. And so tonight is not about preaching, it's about sharing with you my journey. And I want to give you 5 principles as I start to wrap up. 5 principles that I want you to think about as you live a life of purpose and impact. Because I don't believe there's any purpose that's single-minded in its focus. It's about impacting others. And oh, by the way, you can make a lot of money doing it as well. So this is not about growing up and being poor. This is about being good at something and making a point of helping others. Not necessarily in order. Number one, why were you placed on this earth? What is your purpose? Why are people going to be cheering for you at Broncos Stadium because you made such an impact on them? What is your purpose? And what's so important about finding your purpose early on, it will now give you a North Star to shoot for. It will give you a criteria of how to make decisions and where you spend your time and who you spend it with. Having that North Star was critical. One of the most important things that happened to me at Indiana University many, many years ago when I went to college, I was nervous, I was scared, I had no idea what to expect. Fortunately, I got connected with 7 other young men who had a clear vision and purpose for their life. And it was about getting a great education. Fortunately, I got connected with them, and they made a huge difference in my life. Number 2, no victims allowed. Here's what I mean by that. While my mom's circumstances were clear that she could have easily been a victim, we were set up beautifully to be victims. But she taught us no victims allowed. You take radical responsibility and accountability for you. Will there be bumps in the road? Absolutely. Will you get punched in the stomach? You bet. Will there be disappointing days and months? Yes. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. And I promise when you go on to the next step in your journey, there will be disappointment. But you dust yourself off and get back in there because no victims are allowed. That doesn't mean you're not going to be sad, but no victims allowed. Number 3, road dog relationships. Let me tell you what road dog means from where I grew up. I'm not projecting that you should fight, but a fight breaks out, your road dog, they jump in and help you, and they ask questions after the fight. Somebody better give me an amen. That was a good one. A non-road dog, it says, why are we fighting? What's going on? Can you answer that question for me as I get my head beat in? That's not a road dog. And what I mean by a road dog, it's a truth teller. It's someone that will shoot you straight. In those days when you're having a tough time, you can go to them. They will encourage you. They will embrace your hopes and dreams. And they'll do it in a way that makes you better. But you can't get road dogs until you're a road dog. Who are those people you're going to surround yourself with? Who are going to be your road dogs? Because as you go through life, you're going to need someone there helping you along the way, but doing it in a way that uplifts you, not kills your hopes and dreams. Number 4, attitude and effort. Those are the only 2 things you can control. I can't force people to like me. I can't make people give me jobs. All I can do is focus on my attitude and my effort. And then finally, live life as a learning lab. The people that grow, evolve, and develop, they're constantly looking at how they can be better. Those are the people that, through uncertainty, they're going to find a way to succeed. Number 1, find your purpose and fight. Number 2, no victims allowed. I know that sounds harsh, but the world's not easy. Number 3, road dog relationships are very critical. It's not the number, it's the quality of the relationships. Number 4, attitude and effort. It's the only thing you can control. And then finally, live life as a learning lab. So as I wrap up, I am so proud of you, the fact that you're here. You're on your way to a life of purpose and meaning. Don't screw it up. No, just kidding. You're on your way to a life of great impact. And I'm to the parents, well done. Well done. Well done. I still hear my mother over here. She's 81. She'll be 82 in October. She's still with us, and she's still bossing us around. But I still hear her voice, and boy, I'm so glad. So as you go on your journey, I wish you the absolute best. I am so proud of you. Good luck. Stay connected with ACE because they're a support system that will help you through those moments that you don't feel that you can get through. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the amens. Thanks for the hallelujahs. You're now my favorite crowd I've ever been in front of, so congratulations. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening. Okay.